Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to your call to the post, your bell ringer for today's lesson. It's lesson 49 on your simple solutions, and we're going to do problems 1 through 5, just like we normally would do at school. Make sure that you already tried or attempted these on your own before I go over the answers. Okay? All right, so question 1 said Carter spent 3 days typing 12 pages of his report. What is the unit rate in pages per day? So remember, unit rate means 1, so per day, 1 day. So we know that he typed 12 pages in 3 days. So we want to know for 1 day, and this is our x. So we can look at this proportion and say, what did I do to 3 to get to 1? I divided by 3. So what would I do to 12 to get to x? I would divide by 3 as well. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. So he typed 4 pages per day. That's the unit rate. Okay, number 2, which of these terms, mean, median, mode, range, or all of these, is a measure of variability, which would tell how close or spread out the numbers in the data set are. And how far apart the data points are, the measure that tells us that would be the range. You would take the maximum data point and you would subtract the minimum data point. And then number 3, match the graphic in the answer box with the equivalent fraction. So we have 10%, and you see 1 out of the 10 boxes is shaded in. So 1 out of the 10 boxes, that would be 1/10, which is C. 50%, or 1 out of the total parts, 2, 1/2, that would be D. 20%, or 1 out of the 5 total parts, would be B. And 25%, or 1 out of the 4 total parts, would be A. Okay, and then number 4. The city has 4 6 tons of mulch for the parks. Each park will get 1/3 of a ton. If the mulch is used, how many parks will get mulch? So if we think about that, if each park gets 1/3, so let's just say 1/3 plus 1/3, that equals 2/3 of a ton. Well, 4 6 of a ton is all we have, and 4 6 actually simplifies to 2/3. So how many parks would get mulch? Here's one park, and here's another park. So it would be 2 parks would get mulch. And then our last question, give the sum in simplest form, which is a review of a 5th grade standard where we added and subtracted fractions. We're going to write them vertically, 3/5 plus 1/2. And we have to find a common denominator. So we can find a quick common denominator by multiplying our denominators together. 5 times 2, and 5 times 2 would be 10. So we're going to put a 10 on the bottom of both of these. And what did I do to 2 to get to 10? I times it by 5. So whatever I do to the bottom of a fraction, I have to do to the top. So this would be 5/10. What did I do to 5 to get to 10? I times it by 2, or multiply by 2. So I'll multiply this by 2 and I get 6. Now I can add them together since I have a common denominator, and I get 11/10. And that is an improper fraction because my numerator is larger than my denominator. So how many groups of 10 will go into 11? 1 group of 10 with 1 left over. So 1 1/10 would be your answer. All right, guys, that's it for our bell ringer call to the post today.